Topping today's news, the Office of the Prime Minister weighs in on missing American Taylor Casey of Chicago, the United Nations peacekeeping force to Haiti, prepping for a July offensive. And Prime Minister Philip Davis says no foreigners will fill job vacancies where Bahamians are qualified. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It's a pleasure to have you join us. Last Friday, police issued a missing persons bulletin for American Taylor Casey, a 41-year-old from Chicago, Illinois. Police say Casey, who is pictured here, was last seen last Wednesday in the area of Paradise Island. Since then, police investigators have been working with the U.S. Embassy and the family of Miss Casey to locate her. The police and the Ministry of Tourism held a joint press conference on Wednesday to give an update on their investigations, which has basically revealed no significant leads at this time. Today, while at the Office of the Prime Minister's weekly press briefing, Acting Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Keishla Adderley, was asked about the significance of the Police and Tourism Joint Press Conference.
It is a broad investigation. We have been here before, unfortunately, so we know what some of the vulnerabilities are. Obviously, we're very concerned and saddened for the family of the victim who remains a subject of this investigation. So we have to, there's a delicate balance between investigating the matter, dealing with it, and obviously not wanting to hurt the brand. So making sure that everything is done, all our I's are dotted and T's are crossed as far as the investigation to ensure that there's full coverage and the family feels satisfied that all is being done that we can from our end to investigate and hopefully bring their relative back safely.
Miss Casey was reportedly in the Bahamas to attend a yoga retreat on Paradise Island, but never showed up at the retreat. Police recovered Casey's cell phone in the water on a beach at Paradise Island and is hoping information on that phone can help with the search for her recovery and safe return. Bahamian troops could soon take up their maritime position surrounding Haiti now that the first United Nations-backed peacekeeping force from Kenya began to arrive in Haiti on Tuesday. Today, the press secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Keishla Adderley, was asked about possible timelines to see Bahamian personnel engaged in the United Nations-led mission to restore law and order in Haiti, where gangs have seized much control.
In the last week, there's been a major development there as Kenyan forces finally deployed in Haiti. They were on the ground in Haiti as of Tuesday, 400 of them. And of course, the question for us is what that will mean for the deployment of Bahamian troops who have also been promised to assist with security in Haiti as they try to work on the level of violence there. And by way of update, the only thing that I can tell you about that deployment is it is still somewhat of a wait as officials not really wait and see, but obviously under the circumstances, things have to be coordinated so that it is a seamless process and a most effective process once all the troops get on the ground in Haiti for what is still a UN-led initiative.
Seen here, the Kenyan police began arriving in Haiti on Tuesday. You can see them here arriving at the airport. The arrival of the Kenyan police comes nearly 2 years after Haiti asked for help to deal with gang violence and restore law and order. Newly installed Haitian President Gary Conille has promised to improve security and stamp out corruption in politics in Haiti. It remains unclear what Kenya's first assignment will be as they expect to begin operations in July. During his speech at the Tuesday PLP regional meeting in Mount Moriah constituency, Prime Minister Philip Davis said there are major changes already happening in the Department of Labor regarding the large number of jobs that can be performed by Bahamians, but instead are being filled by foreigners holding work permits. According to Prime Minister Davis, those major changes will be brought into full effect this fiscal year.
Next month, I'm meeting with our ministers of immigration and labor and their teams so they can advise the industry partners So there'll be no confusion or mixed messages between my tongue and teeth. I refuse to accept a status quo where Bahamians are qualified and ready to work, yet jobs are kept from them by foreigners.
Check this, you'll never see a dog barking at a parked car.
No more companies manipulating job requirements to shut out our own people. Our immigration policy is simple, Protect Bahamian workers, safeguard businesses, Bahamian businesses, reserved for Bahamians. That's what it is.
Prime Minister Davis says the business of training foreigners is over.
I have personally ordered the cancellation of work permits where they are unjustified. So let everyone know, Brave insists on Bahamians first in their own country. My fellow Bahamians, we are not here to train foreigners for jobs that Bahamians can do. I've already stepped in to cancel work permits myself, as I said. So PLPs, spread the word. Brave says, Bahamians first in their own country. And I assure you, we are not teaching any foreigners how to do a job that a Bahamian can do.
In September 2023, the then new Labor and Public Service Minister, Pia Glover-Roll, announced that she wants to create a policy unit to help qualified Bahamians fill vacancies occupied by foreigners. And to illustrate the severity of the problem, midway through 2023, former Labor Director Robert Farquharson revealed that 40% of the 12,000 work permits issued at that stage of 2023 were related to jobs Bahamians can fill. Following the controversial Maritime Revenue Enhancement Task Force's visit to CBS Bahamas earlier this week, the Office of the Prime Minister Acting Press Secretary Keishla Adderley letting the public know that the matter is being dealt with. CCTV footage seen here, publicized by CBS Vice President Brent Burrows, clearly displays armed task force members entering the store and making rounds on social media, with Burrows questioning the brash entrance and asking why the task force did not issue a courtesy call instead. Today, at the Office of the Prime Minister's press briefing, the Secretary explained that the force has a job to do.
Let me hasten to say that obviously the task force has a job to do in its assessment. It has the security is a part of what is being considered, even though that business may have considered it overbearing. But going forward again, it is being reviewed, and that show of force is only expected to be shown if there is a need, if that is warranted.
The task force, comprised of members from various government agencies, including the National Insurance Board, Customs, Immigration, and the Defense Force, left residents, business owners, and members of the opposition in a state of uproar. Chairman of the Free National Movement, Dr. Dwayne Sands, also weighing in on the matter and is demanding answers for what he calls an intimidation exercise.
What was the threat? Were they looking for guns, drugs, or something like that? No. They went to see if the businesses were paying taxes. There was no clear and present danger that warranted this kind of hostile overreach by agents of the various state agencies. Now, we got to ask, were any laws or regulations broken in this raid? Aren't various agencies required to give written or other notice before such a raid? So what's next? Are they coming to our homes, doctors' offices, pharmacies, barbershops, restaurants, Airbnbs, churches, and other establishments looking to see who paying taxes? I think it's because the PLP is so hungry for money that they have an intimidation, hostile, and aggressive agenda to squeeze taxes out of us.
Despite the chairman's concerns, members of the task force have since responded to criticisms about being heavily armed, saying that due to carrying large sums of money at times, they must be protected at all times. And finally, in this segment, the Bahamas Olympic trials continue today at the original Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. The field events began at 4 p.m. with the long jump, discus, pole vault, while the track events, they began at 5 p.m. with the men and women's high hurdles, followed by the 200-meter heats and the 400-meter finals set for tonight at 7:55 p.m. featuring Shawnee Miller-Weibo and Stephen Gardner. Those hurdles, they will feature Devin Charlton. The general admission, just $10. Again, athletes trying to qualify for the 2024 Olympic Games set for Paris beginning July 26. Also, the Bahamas men's national basketball team featuring Buddy Hield, DeAndre Ayton, Eric Gordon. They'll compete in the Olympic qualifying round, the final round to qualify for the Olympics that begins next week in Spain. You're listening to JCN. We'll be right back with more news following these commercials.